I do think soccer is more popular in my culture in Greece because when the World Cup was going on, when I was there in 2006, everybody was out there watching the games all night and all day pretty much. And here you wouldn't see a lot of people doing that, but there was everybody. It was my whole family, it was the whole community.
I would say that in Bolivia, soccer is more important, more popular than in the United States. I would say that because Bolivia, they don't have any other sports. It's the main sport and everybody plays it and everybody's fanatic about it. In the United States, there's a lot of competing sports vying for their attention, like basketball and baseball and football. And so for Bolivia, it's more important and more popular.
Short answer is, in Brazil, soccer is a religion, in that pretty much everything revolves around soccer, especially when you get to the World Cup, Copa do Mundo, and even the Olympics, and even the U16s and U17s, which are age group divisions. Everyone, for example, in '94, when Brazil won their 4th World Cup, you could literally, I was in a city near Sao Paulo called Campinas, you could literally go out when Brazil was playing on the field and take a nap on the busiest intersection, and you would not see a soul or a car for about 90 minutes.
Alright, well, I think soccer is by far more popular in Argentina than in the United States, and the reason why is soccer is just part of the way of life of the Argentine people. They include that into everything they do, any activity that they're doing. They just somehow incorporate soccer to draw people or just to hang out as friends. And so
there are a lot of similarities between soccer in my country and soccer in America. The fans definitely are about the same. They have the same enthusiasm for the game, the same passion. There really aren't a lot of differences because to me, soccer fans all around the world are connected just by soccer themselves.
Similarities between soccer in Bolivia and the United States are really that they both wear jerseys when they play soccer and they both use a soccer ball. But other than that, there's not a whole lot of similarities, but the differences would be that, like I said before, as far as the popularity goes, for Bolivia, they play at a altitude of about 14,000 feet in Potosí, one of their main cities, and their style of soccer is way different because of that. So they kick the ball as far as they can in order to outrun the other team because the other team can't breathe because it's in such a high altitude. And so they would.
Besides what I just said, the biggest differences are the organization in the United States. In the United States, when we play soccer, we have to send out an email. We have to make sure we have a soccer ball. We have to make sure we have our cleats. We have to make sure we have our shin guards. We have to make sure we have little nets. In Brazil, it's literally you grab anything that's round, walk out onto the street, and you play. It can be in a literally 5x5 one-on-one. It can be in your house. It can be on the streets. It's because it's a religion. It's just what you do. At 4 o'clock in the afternoon, as soon as you get off work, you go, you find something around, and you start kicking it at something, and you play some form or fashion, and it's just what everybody does. People sit out on the sidewalks and watch. The older men, women who don't want to play, sit there and watch and make eyes at the men. It's just what we do.
There are no similarities. There are no. Everything is just completely night and day different, and I think it has to do with the fact that in the States, everything is probably compartmentalized in terms of you have seasons for baseball and basketball, and as well as football and things like that. But when it comes to soccer in Argentina, that's a year-round thing. It doesn't stop. As soon as one tournament ends, you have almost like the following day another one beginning, and so it's continually year-round. Looking forward to, there's always something to look forward to in terms of soccer tournaments, championships, and so that's probably one of the biggest differences.
Soccer started many thousands of years in my culture, and it's just been a big part of my definitely number one on the list.
That they take the most pride in their sports, even though that Bolivia in South America is not the best soccer team in South America. It wouldn't matter, even though they got in last place every time, that is the pride of their culture, is seeing Bolivia beat Peru or even lose to Peru. They take the most pride in watching their team play and knowing all the names of players. And so it's a national identity, whereas in the United States it's not as much.
Example, my parents were missionaries. We went into an Indian tribe in the middle of nowhere. No electricity, no lights. What they did have is they had an ancient TV. One guy brought a car battery. I don't know where he got the car battery. Another guy had fluorescent lights. And somehow they engineered and they got reception. When I say reception, I mean white fuzzy, and every once in a while you'd see some movement. The whole tribe would literally come when there was a soccer game and watch the game. That is how dominant soccer is. In the middle of nowhere, literally the middle of nowhere.
Most Argentines, at least this was very true years back. I don't see any reason why it's changed, but I heard the saying that if you would go up to an Argentine and you would ask them what's the most proudest moment in your life, the answer that you would give back would not be the day I got married, the day I saw my kid born. Even if you were a believer, a Christian, and you decided to say it wasn't the day I got to know God, they would say none of that. That would never be the first answer. Their answer would be the time that Argentina won the World Cup. That would be it. And if you think about that, that just goes to show you how important soccer is to them, and how less of importance, you could probably say, the rest of things that they had in their life was. It was more important for them to see their country win a World Cup than for any of the other.
I do see a lot of my culture in the United States. Soccer culture is definitely, again, fans and just the whole atmosphere of, if there's a game, we're going to go out to the bar or the restaurant with our family and just watch the game and just enjoy the game.
And how I see that same culture in the United States, even how Bolivia is so fanatic about soccer in the United States, and seeing the growing popularity. There's just a different kind of culture within the soccer sport that I see growing in the United States, with soccer moms and minivans and that kind of growing popularity in the United States that I have seen already in Bolivia, that's growing in the United States. So I would say that is the main thing, as I see, is the fan base growing in the United States.
This is pretty easy. When I say Brazil, now, especially in North Carolina, people are like, oh, they're pretty good at soccer. They've won 5 World Cups, and they're sponsored by Nike. Pretty much, when anybody sees the yellow jerseys with the Nike swoosh, everybody's like, that's Brazil. Spelled with an S, not a Z. And Ronaldo, Roberto Carlos, Ronaldinho, pretty much anybody who has some interest in soccer knows who these guys are.
As far as seeing some of the Argentine culture or soccer culture in the United States, there's none present.
Soccer definitely is increasing in Greece and all around, because the older generation is showing the younger generation the passion for soccer, and the passion just keeps coming and going with generations to come. And like I said before, the whole community just embraces soccer.
It probably can't increase any more than what it is right now, and because it's the only sport.
This is a stock that would never fail. I know you're not supposed to say that when it comes to stocks, but literally this is a stock that will never fail, because they view it as a religion.
Soccer in Argentina is always steady. It's always at the very top of the page, if you have a list of importance, at the very top. So it's never decreasing or increasing.